The Odyssey of Flight 33, the jet that couldn't land. Rod Serling once said the Twilight Zone is a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. And that's exactly where Flight 33 is headed. Not into the past, not into the future, but into the mind that made both. You're 35,000 feet in the air, cruising over the Atlantic on a calm day in 1961. Everything looks normal. The passengers are relaxed, the crew is calm, but then something happens. The plane starts to accelerate beyond logic. Instruments spin. The radio goes dead, and when the crew looks down, Manhattan is gone. No skyline, no city, just dinosaurs grazing in the fields below. Welcome aboard the Odyssey of Flight 33. Rod Serling called it a journey into an uncharted region of time, but it's really a parable about the mind, about how belief in time keeps the Son of God circling, searching, and never landing. In A Course in Miracles, time is the ego's runway. It promises a destination called arrival, but every mile is another illusion. The passengers on Flight 33 think they're headed home, but home is not a place on a map. It's not New York. It's not 1939 or 1961. Home is heaven, timeless awareness, and there are no flight paths that lead there. The crew keeps climbing, accelerating, trying to break back into the right year. They pass through prehistoric Earth, then 1939 New York, then something in between, always almost there. But almost is the ego's favorite word. It keeps the mind chasing altitude instead of stillness. The captain tells the passengers to stay calm and pray. But the prayer he's asking for is really a form of panic, a plea for things to go back to the way they were. That's the trap. The mind doesn't actually want to wake up, it wants to fix the dream. It wants to land in a better illusion, not awaken from all illusions. When they contact LaGuardia, no one understands them. Their language doesn't translate. They talk about jets and radar, but in 1939, those symbols don't exist. That's the nature of all symbols. They're temporary, shifting, and meaningless outside their frame of reference. Every generation builds new ones, worships them, then calls them obsolete. It's like trying to communicate with a dream figure who speaks only fear. You can shout all you want, but you're still asleep. The plane keeps burning fuel. That's the mind's energy, wasted in effort, trying harder, thinking faster, seeking higher. But every attempt drains the tank. The more they push, the less they have. That's what happens when the ego flies the plane. It burns through everything and calls it progress. In metaphysical truth, the turbulence wasn't in the air. It was in the mind. The sound barrier they broke was the veil of perception, the shattering point between cause and effect, the moment where time folds in on itself. But instead of stopping to question what happened, they did what all egos do. They hit the throttle. They tried to fix the disturbance with more motion. Lesson 129 of A Course in Miracles says, "Beyond this world there is a world I want. But to find it, one must stop trying to go faster. Stop trying to get back to what was. Stop believing there's a version of the dream that's better than another." Flight 33 can't land because there's nowhere to land. It's the perfect metaphor for the human condition, the endless search for arrival in a world that was never home. Each attempt to return just reinforces the belief that something real was left behind. But there's nothing behind. There's nothing ahead. There's only now. And now isn't in the cockpit. It's in the silence behind the engines. So if you ever hear that hum in your mind, that restless drone that says we're almost there, stop. Don't climb. Don't descend. Let the engines wind down. Let the fuel run out. Because that's the only way the flight ends. The ego doesn't know how to land, but spirit does. Somewhere a jetliner circles the clouds, her passengers calm, her crew determined, her destination unknown. But she'll never touch down on any runway built by men. For the sky she flies through is made of memory, and her engines run on hope. That's the flight plan of the ego, always moving, never arriving, forever lost between the past and the promise of tomorrow. The Odyssey of Flight 33, now cruising through that long level corridor called the Twilight Zone.